doing? Well, Robert L. Dean, we have a wonderful, wonderful interview with us today. This young man is a trailblazer. He is a helper. He is a person that not only considers things for his group and his organization, but more than anything else, he also helps build other brands and other artists, including yourself. He has sown into you. So, Robert O'Dean, who do we have with us today?
Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we've interviewed um, over 500 people since we've become Dr. OT and Dr. Robert O'Dean on the morning show. And there are some who just stick out more than others. We love everybody, though. But there are some who are just dear to you. And whenever they do anything, you want to be a part of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's back again. The one and only, and the only one, Anthony Ponder. Welcome to the Wake Up Morning Show.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, man,
Nothing much.
how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm excited to be here with y'all. It's been too long. Y'all energy is always great, so thank you.
So we just gonna jump right into it.
Jump
First
on
of
in.
all, we need to know: are you gonna be at the Stellars this year?
I am. I will
Oh,
be there
okay.
this year.
So you know the rules.
What's the rules?
The rules is simply we might not be able to spend a lot of time together, but we will have to slap hands, do something to make sure that
Man,
we
let's go.
connect with each other. I think it's always important that when we can get into the vicinity of each other, that we always disfellowship and make sure that we connect with each other. So when you get in, hit me or Robert up. We gonna find you or you find us, but we gonna get together and if possible, break some bread with you.
Man, listen, I am not gonna come be that close to you guys and not actually meet you physically. Absolutely, it's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes, you are doing some wonderful things. Let's start with talking about that big event you do in New York that I'm coming
Yeah,
to
man.
sooner or later.
Yeah, man. So right now, the I was offered a residency in New York City at SOB's New York City. The name of the show is called Soul Therapy Sundays. Right now, we're on hold. So, Robert, I'll keep you posted with that. You've got to finally come because you've been saying you're coming. Nah,
Right, right.
but no, we it's a hold right now. So I'm grateful for that. It's a concert series where we feature, some of the greats, and it's really a moment where we get a chance to talk about honestly some of the things we never got a chance to talk about in church. I'm a church kid, so some things were taboo. Some things were just go pray about it, and we never got a chance to be encouraged to be honest about what we were all dealing with that nobody wanted to talk about, right? So that's what this is. It's just really an outlet for people who may not go to church anymore or people who have never gone to church, but create a safe environment where, again, people can be honest and just introduce God in a different way.
A lot of times I tell people that we were very successful in teaching people how to go to church, but we weren't as successful as teaching them how to live saved.
Fake the funk.
A lot of times there are times where we is saved as long as we don't get caught.
Come on.
But the ones that get caught, they somehow have lost their salvation.
Right.
And I tell people all the time, just because you didn't get caught,
Does not mean.
God's eyes are in every place, beholding the good and the evil.
Yes.
So even though we didn't see it, God did see it. So I tell people all the time, we have to teach people how to live saved and be effective in their Christian walk. And that means that, it says that we're born in sin and shaping in iniquity. So we all have flaws.
Right.
Yes, sir.
We're
Yes,
not
sir.
going to be perfect, but we're striving to be perfect and surrender to God each and every day. So I think that is an excellent way of reintroducing the gospel in the kingdom to people, moving outside of the four walls and meeting them right where they're at.
Yes, sir. Exactly. That's a good segue to my song called "In the Room" because we talk about God meeting you exactly right where you are. But I'm gonna let y'all lead.
And I think being Christians will make it so difficult or hard for people that are not quote unquote church people to
Mm-hmm.
receive Christ because we have to bounce off of walls and all that kind of stuff. When simply you just have to confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that He's risen from the dead, and it said you shall be saved. So I think with
Yeah.
you using your platform to take gospel out is very, very important in the time that we're living in.
Amen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me just ask some questions, just straight up. I look at you and simple brother. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Fashion though, fashion king.
no, 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 but let me just finish what I'm saying.
Hmm.
You know, a simple brother. You know, you come on and it's like, hey, friend, how are you doing? No flamboyancy, no big
No
entourage.
fluff.
You know, you just you. Let's just talk about you just being you has been enough to do all the things that you're doing.
Ooh, man, that's so good. That's such a good question. I'll tell you what, I was talking about this last night at dinner with friends. The thing is, man, that that wasn't always the case, and that really was a hard journey to land in this place, right? So I grew up a church kid, but I'm not. I've never been superficial or just overly churchy, if I could use that word. But oftentimes when we would go out and minister, I felt this pressure to be when I get on the mic and introduce us, I gotta, talk in his voice and
Hmm.
and God said, right? So
Hmm.
I kept I kept falling flat. Like in my head and the day before I prepare all the things I wanted to say, the scriptures and my great revelation of the song and all of this stuff, and man, I kept falling flat. It just didn't land. It just never worked. And one of my friends said, man, you already have what you need. Just be yourself. Just whatever part of your personality. I'm sarcastic. I like to laugh, and I literally just began to be myself, man. And I realized through experience and time that that was enough, right? God wasn't looking for me to be like anybody else. God wasn't trying to even pressure me to be anybody else. I became much more effective in my relationships, much more effective in ministry just by being myself. So I landed in that. I'm in a very comfortable place of who I am, and that's good enough for me. So man, that's a great question.
Yes, and so let me just talk about in the sense of leadership. You know, you are Anthony Ponder, but
Hmm.
you have this amazing sound and people that you work with in your group. But how do you balance off? And I will say this: the varying personalities, because you're working what we call creatives. How do you balance that and then keep everybody on one accord when you are doing background for other people, doing recording for other people, but also doing recordings for your own project? How do you balance the people and still keep the quote unquote peace?
I think that's a process as well, right? So uh, other leaders will put their trust in you once you show yourself to be trustworthy, right? So you have these great, amazing singers kind of doing their own thing, coming under your vision, and they all have their own vision too. So I think people want to know when they trust you, they want to know that you have their best interests at heart. They want to know that you're not shisty, and the deal is, I want them to win just as much as they want me to win. And I think that that consistency and that cohesiveness have allowed people to just settle and rest in what it is that God is doing through me. So I don't have any of those battles anymore, whereas initially I may have. I don't have to explain those things. I think they really just sit in this place of rest because I've proven myself to be trustworthy. I've proven myself to be integral, and more importantly, I care about who they are outside of who they are to me. If that makes sense.
That's a real leader. My question is, what definitive moment or moments let you know that this is your calling? Because in gospel music, as an independent artist, it can be so discouraging.
Sure.
It's up and down. It's out of your own pocket. What moments that you know that I am doing this and this is what I am chosen or born to do?
Sure. So I believe that in the middle of our journeys, because the process isn't always easy, I believe, and I'm thankful that God will begin to send affirmations at the times that we need it, right? So whether that be, man, the record did this, from that perspective, it's so many X, Y, and Z records without a label, or just simple when you're in the street and people stop you and say things to you. It's those moments, and honestly, it's really just it's really those quiet moments where God began to share things, and God began to kind of again affirm you, and just kind of warm your heart in that regard. So for me, that's enough, right? So when I wake up and I'm giving songs, I know those songs aren't for me. I know these particular moments that I have, revelation that I have aren't for me. I began to understand that our giftings, you being able to sing, Robert, is not so you can sing to yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of that? You can listen to somebody on the record, but God gives us gifts and God gives us dreams and visions for the sake of other people. So as I'm still inspired, as I'm still moved, as God begins to still elevate me, I know that everything I'm doing, everything that I am, is far beyond me.
Right.
So for me, I'm good now. I get it. So it's like as long as I still have inspiration, and still as long as I still have breath, as long as He still gives me songs, that means that He wants me to still do a work for somebody else. So for me, that's the affirmation.
Right.
Let me ask you this question. In one of your songs that we wear out, and that's just favor.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
there's a little voice that says, "If God before you," from a speech that Angela Bassett did. Had she reached out? How did you connect to be able to use that sample? Have she responded, or did she call you up and say, "Woo, that's just my song, baby"?
Man, that would be great. I've never tagged her in it, but because it's public domain or it's a public thing, I didn't necessarily need her permission for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I that's a good question. I probably should start tagging her on when we do God Won't Fail. What's the names? I don't know if she's ever heard it, but she's never spoken to me about it. So
And she's
that
a
would be
church
good.
lady.
Yeah,
She's a church lady.
she church, she Kojic,
West
and
Angeles.
the one thing,
What?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
her and Courtney, I
Faithful.
mean, they're faithful members, and she stays in shape and everything, and I could just see her working out
Mm-hmm.
to this song consistently because it has that vibe and that energy,
Yes.
and honestly, that was such a powerful speech, to then hear it on your project and then have that groove, it has really blessed
Yeah.
us and. It lets people know that's His favor. You didn't have to scream it. You didn't holler. It's almost like you wanted people to understand you could walk happily in your favor,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
I
But
like that.
That's God Won't Fail.
Yeah, that's go okay. That's God won't. Okay, okay. I'm looking at both because we played them both
No,
this
no, I
morning.
got it. I know. I
Yeah,
know. I know. I
you
know. I
know.
know.
So let me ask this question.
Mhm.
Um, in the room,
Yep.
I'm not getting ready to talk about the song. I'm getting ready to talk about people who desire to come to New York to
New Jersey.
or New Jersey to your play or to your residency. Have you ever thought about setting it up where you already got the hotel reserved and everything else, and say for everybody who's been wanting to come and hang out, I got a weekend set up for those that want to come
This is the
through,
main
and
hotel.
then we can start planning to come hang out with you.
No, but thank you for the idea. Let's go. Me and my team writing that down now. Thank you for the idea.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
because one of the things about it, I think a lot of times, we talk about, hey, we're gonna come, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, but I think we have to be very intentional
Mm-hmm.
and get people in the room. You see,
So
you
in
see,
other
you see,
words,
how I
what
did
you're
that
saying
one.
is, I see what you did. So in other words, make it easy for people. Take
Exactly.
away some of the choices. I got you.
Yeah, and it's
They don't have
almost
to
like
think about it.
yeah, it's almost like going to a conference or anything. Once it's put on the books, now people can start planning. What they're going to do and how they're going to do, and us as church folks, we're gonna like and where we're gonna eat, where's the favorite restaurant, all that other
Hmm.
stuff. And I think that um, being intentional, because Robert and I are trying to be intentional with setting up the IGAM conference and things of that nature,
Hmm.
because we want people at some point to realize that in this month, this is what we're going to do. Is just trying to find the right month now because there's so much that is
Hmm.
happening in the
What's
community.
IGAM?
IGAM is in, Robert, independent gospel artist. Get me right.
Independent
Independent.
Gospel Artist Music Matters.
Yes. Okay. I'm bad with acronyms,
That's
but
okay.
it was a vision that Robert
I
came
see
up with.
somebody's rolling their eyes.
Yeah.
I think they
Well,
know.
no, it's a vision that he came up with,
Walking on
and
the
we
beach.
we want to make sure that we continue to keep visions going because the funny thing about it, I'm just going back to old school.
Hmm.
We grew up we grew up traveling as kids,
Yep.
and everything was intentional. Memorial Day weekend, we knew we were going to be in another state, or the states were coming to
Hmm.
us because we had this like Bay
It was like a
Area,
tri-city
yeah,
fellowship.
Bay Area, Vegas, San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
So one year we're in Vegas, the next year we're in Oakland, the next year we're in San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that it's really important that we still could keep those connections because that's how we learned how to tour.
And it was fun.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm excited about that because I've never been to New Jersey. I've been to New York, but I've never been to New Jersey. So I'm gonna try to do both. I'm gonna try to come hang out with you and then
Yeah,
roll
it's
over
literally
to New
15
York.
minutes out.
Yeah.
Minutes
And
out.
I've never been to New York, but I've been to New Jersey.
Okay.
Wow.
So maybe we
Wow.
just should
That
go
yeah.
together. And
Well,
And
you gonna try to
and
go? You gonna try to go
you yeah,
anyway?
you guys knock out each other's bucket list.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
want
I
to go
think
to
it's
Jersey,
awesome.
want to go to New York, and I'll hang out with both of you for both places.
See,
See what's going on.
see.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I want to say about you, and I admire it so much about you, you are a huge supporter of other people. Let's talk about how you produce, write. Besides that, though, you support other artists. Let's talk about that. That's very important.
Yeah, man. I believe that you know we there is enough room for everybody. I believe there's a lane for everybody. I believe there's a specific audience for everybody, and I love supporting other people. I love seeing other people do their thing, man, because it doesn't diminish me, right?
Mm-mm.
It works in two ways. It inspires me to let me know that this is possible, right? So, if you guys can have your radio show, I can have a radio show if that's what I wanted. You guys are the template. You're showing me what God can also do through other people's lives. So that's the first thing. I'm inspired, right? When other people doing their thing is inspiration,
Hmm.
and I believe that it's a biblical practice, right? We reap what we sow.
Yes, sir.
So I'm so in love. I'm so in support, and I believe that we'll get that back. We'll get that back in another way, another capacity. So I want to give love. I want to give and sow seeds of support, sow seeds of like, yo, let's do this. We can do this,
Hmm.
so that we'll get that back naturally. So it's two reasons. So again, you inspire me by being great and make me step up. And so I think support is important. It comes easy for me, man. It's always been like that.
Hmm.
I'm generally not a jealous person. And if any of those moments have ever crept in, again, just God has just affirmed me in terms of who I am.
Hmm.
So I love who I am and I love who you are, and they can coexist.
I agree.
Right?
And
Yeah.
his group, anybody come to that area, his group is normally the group that is chosen to do the backup for the major artists. So that says a lot about what his brand has become.
Hmm. And so I was leading into your new song "In the Room"
Mm.
because we want to be in the room in the city. We want to connect with you, and I have to say this because Earl Dean, Dr. Robert Earl Dean, is a big supporter of your music. And so when your music comes out, the first thing that he does is he goes to the program director, and Robert.
Oh, no,
Can I do Robert? This is the one we
no.
do. Let me do Robert. Can I do Robert? Here you go, sis. Let me send you this song. And so he said, I need you to listen to it because you get 100 songs a day,
Yeah.
and so they're trying to go through it all, and so he'll push it all the way up to the front and everything like that. And I know because even last night about 10 o'clock, he was on the phone with the program director and said, "Well, didn't you get it?" And she said,
But we were talking about the Stellars and stuff. Come on.
but you still was on the phone making sure that
Yeah, I wanted to make
and she
sure.
was making sure that
Yes.
the song was
Yes,
right.
you're correct.
So now that we have it and everything like that, she's put it in rotation, and we want to push this song all the way to number one. And so
We've done it before.
with Robert, and I love my brother because he's like that pit bull. When he get a hold of something that he's really really excited about, he makes sure that it pushes all the way through, and then he
Wow.
gets us excited about it. So Robert, I want to give you your flowers because our goal is to push him to number one, right?
Oh yeah, we have to be the station
Yeah,
who people will want to follow the
yeah,
the trend, like the Walt Baby Loves.
hmm,
When he puts something on his syndicated show, everybody follows in
exactly,
suit. So we want to be that, and we've done that.
yeah.
We've been able to spot hits before everybody else did.
Exactly. And so I want to just talk about in the room. because it's a fabulous song.
Hmm.
Thank you
And
so much.
I actually had a chance to listen to it last night before we actually are airing it today, and I'm like, oh my. So
At
can you
10
tell us?
o'clock.
So can you tell us about In the Room and how it came about and who's in the room with you?
It's gonna be it's a very interesting story. So I was dreaming, and I was, man, it's bringing me back memories. I haven't talked about this in a long time since I wrote the song. So I was dreaming, and I saw an artist. I was at a concert, and the artist said he was on big stage, and he said, "I want to introduce a new song. Um, I want to see how you guys like it." So I'm in the audience, just vibing out, and the man starts singing a song, and I remember like the room erupting into just this crazy worship. It was just like, and they kept singing this line. Um, God is here, so is your miracle. Since God is here, so is your miracle. So they started. That's the line that they kept singing, and I woke up from the dream, and I started singing the song, right? So I just got up, man. In the middle of the night, going to the bathroom, whatever, whatever, and I said, "Oh my God!" It was God giving me a song. I didn't realize.
Hmm.
In my head, whoever the artist was, it was their song. I thought I was just reliving something or whatever, whatever. And I was like, "Oh crap, Jesus, you are talking to me." So I had to stop. I recorded it, and that's how the song came about. So, but
Wow.
God didn't give me the whole thing. He gave me he gave me the main line and the chorus, and I couldn't finish it. I kept trying to finish it because I was just like, I feel the song is so powerful, especially the way he gave it to me. I've never had a song so clear in a dream. So I couldn't finish the song, so I ended up sending the whatever I had. I sent the voice note to a few friends who like did worship music, and nobody came back with anything. So for some reason, I really felt the pull of God to lead me to reach out to one of my friends. His name is Thomas Warren, and his writing style is completely different than mine. So
Hmm.
I just never thought that this would be a match. But I sent it over to him. Guys, let me tell you, man. He in 5 minutes he had the bridge to the song.
Wow.
He finished the song in 5 minutes, but I didn't know. Um, Man, again, there's so many layers to this. I didn't know he was sitting in a hospital bed
Wow.
because he hadn't told me. So he was sitting in a hospital bed dealing with uh, his own situations
Wow.
and where he needed God to affirm that his miracle is here. And so it resonated with him in a different way because he was right in the middle of the need,
Right
and
in
God
it.
used him to finish the song, man.
Wow.
So when I tell you powerful, absolutely powerful.
Hmm.
And I want to tell you another thing is that I am grateful for my gift of writing, but God needed me to not have my hands on it, if
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Hmm.
So when I wrote the song again, or when God gave me the song, it was literally in my dreams. So I didn't have an opportunity to dissect it with my style. I
Hmm.
didn't have a moment to say, "Oh, I should do this note here." I
Hmm.
heard it exactly how He gave it to me, and what you guys hear is how He gave it to me. And again, I couldn't finish it because now I'm awake. So now I'm gonna write the way according to what I think or what I feel,
Hmm.
and God needed my hands off of it to deliver it the way He needed it to, and that's why Thomas had to finish the song.
Right.
So again, God was so strategic with this song, man. He used me in a different way than He ever had, and again, He didn't use my natural gifting. I am gifted to write, and
Yes.
that's a gift from Him.
Hmm.
But He did it. He needed my style to not be on it. If that makes sense, does that make sense?
Yeah, he needed
Because
you
this
to
song,
be out of it
yeah,
so he can get the
He needed me
full
to be,
the full glory and for him to speak totally without
man.
any of your influence.
Exactly. And ain't that funny? He's using me and not using me at the same time.
So my question is,
The vessel.
how do you feel when God gives you a song, um, and the song ministers to you, um, at a level that you're like, oh my goodness,
Hmm.
because it's almost like people think that preachers preach, and none of the things that they're saying is referring to them, but most
Sure.
of us preach from a standpoint of it came to us first.
First.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
So
So yeah, I mean that's the amazing part. I think everything that I've done, especially my singles, it has always been from a personal place, right? It's always been from a place of my personal need and my personal journey. So it's in the room, all you need. It's in the room, all you need. So that's for me because there was a place where I was like, God, I was what I need, I don't have. Give me, give me, give me. Like it was like, please, I need this, and to wake up with the answer, like it's here. And the thing is that, man, we believe that. I don't know what you want me to start getting into because I was about to start talking about the song. I'm gonna wait. I'll wait. I'll let you lead me
Oh
into it.
no, I definitely want you to talk about the song
Yes.
because the first thing that's going to come to my mind is you said that the person who finished the song was in the hospital. I want you to also testify about thus far some of the fruit that you've seen come out of the in the room song.
Wow.
Well, again, so remember, it's not public, so this had to be for us first. So
Yeah.
me and him, right? And and we taught this song. So we recorded a video, which we're gonna release very soon. And to see the impact. And so what happened was I brought a whole bunch of worship leaders from around the tri-state area to record the song. I knew I wanted to record a video, but I knew I didn't use specifically my group. My group is involved, but I it's you'll see it. It's about 20 people, right?
Wow.
And so what happened was they asked for the song because you get ready to go to a recording session. So the first thing you're gonna say, where's a reference? I wouldn't give them a reference. I wanted them to hear it purely in that moment. I wanted to be taught in that
Wow.
moment, and I wanted to be fresh, and I wanted to see how it naturally resonated with them, without time to come up with ideas or come up with thoughts.
Wow.
We taught it to them in the moment, and we would not give it to them. And I'm telling you, when you guys see this video, it's 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 unbelievable. I had no idea that it would resonate in the way that it did. And again, more affirmation. And I'm just thankful to God. And again, now he it ministers to me in a different way now because it's the room is not just like, ah man, God is here for he's here to give you a miracle. In the room, right, is reflective of exactly where you are. Right. So we believe that we can only find God in this beautiful place, or this place of serenity, in this place of like, oh, I'm praying, so I met God. No, no, no.
Hmm.
God wants to meet you right in your brokenness. He wants to meet you right in your pain. He
Hmm.
wants to meet you in your frustration with him.
Hmm.
He wants you to meet you in your depression. That room is where God is, right? He's where you are.
Wow.
We don't invite him in because either we're shamed or we don't consider that even in the middle of all of these things
That he's
that we
still there.
feel, all these things that we're dealing with,
Hmm.
he I'm telling you, that's how God loves us. He wants to see us literally right there in all of our craziness.
Right.
And that's where he's gonna meet you to give you what you need. But again, the song says search no more. Because we're always looking
Yeah.
for, all right, cool. I need to do my radio interview. I need to do what's the name. So I'm looking for Robert. I'm looking for,
Hmm.
whatever, whatever. But
Hmm.
again, the thing that we need here, he has it covered. Stop searching. Stop looking. I'm right here.
Right.
I'm right here. What are you looking for? I'm
Right where
standing right
you
here in
are.
front of you.
Right where you
Come
are.
on. Come on.
Right where you
And
are.
so that began to minister to me in a way that I just had to. I became. It made my relationship with God more pure
Wow.
and more close because all this time I'm hiding from Him while I'm in my depression. All this time I'm hiding from Him while I'm in my frustration. And He's like, Nah, I want to be right there with you. I want to be right there with you. And it shifted my mind fully.
So this song is um, going to bless those that might be going through depression. This song is going to bless those that might even be considering suicide.
Come on.
This song is going to bless you when you don't think that you're enough. This song is going to bless you when you're at a crossroad in your life. And it's simply in the room. You know, there's so many things that God is trying to say. I always go back and everybody, when he said to Moses, use what's in your hand,
Use what's in your
you
hand.
know, and because he
Mm,
had that staff in his hand, but he thought he was less than in the
right,
room, you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Hmm.
But he
Hmm.
had everything that he needed at that moment in the room because God was with him. And
Right.
so that is so powerful because so many people are, you know, well, I always call this social media traumatized
Hmm.
that
Mm,
they cannot see what God has already given them in the room. And this song, I believe, will remind them that everything that you need, God has already given to you, and all you have to do is walk in that. Robert Earl.
come on.
And it's going to hit me differently because last night or this morning, I had a dream that I jumped on top of a roof to save somebody from committing suicide.
Hmm.
It was a Caucasian gentleman, and I think his mom was on the roof with me and some other people. We were screaming, "Don't jump! Don't jump!" And he jumped all the way down from the building, from the roof, and I believe he died in my dreams. So I don't know where that came from, but this is like intertwined with my dream last night.
Amen.
This song.
Wow.
Amen. So brother, this song, I think you know how they say it has life beyond the life. I think that as we begin to look at these evergreen songs,
Hmm.
you know placement of these songs in commercials, placement of this song in movies, placement in this song in different capacities, even beyond the church realm.
Mm,
There's certain songs that God gives that goes across. I pray that this song goes across even into the secular radio stations, that it will encourage people and hit them. And our prayer is that when people hear it,
Hmm.
they will understand that you are enough. It's in the room. And I thank God for you being obedient and not being so self absorbed that you had to say, nope, I don't want to give no credit to nobody else. I got to write everything. But you listen
uh,
to God, and God blessed you with this work.
and,
wow,
and
man.
and for it to go out far, start looking at an organization to work with. It could be teen suicide, which is on high since COVID, and especially in African American young people. You should try to join forces, and that could help you get your tour around the country. Finding an organization like suicide, cancer, something where this song will hit people right
Ooh,
at the core of their
wow.
being. And as artists, gospel artists primarily, we have to learn to find a cause. So it won't be just a song, but it'll be a
Yep,
cause behind it. And there's dollars, as he knows, there's dollars for all kinds of different, things.
yep. Man, that's good. That's so good. So
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Almost got me in tears, man. It's just so good. Thank you.
yeah. I am this definitely godly proud of you
Hmm.
for what you are doing and how you are doing it, and this your humility. Again, know so many people that you have literally sown into each and every day,
Hmm.
and just been a friend. And a lot of people don't understand the importance of being a friend. And so I want to leave you with this. There are a couple of grants that I think fall right into what you do. One is called a Tour West grant, and I think that you should check into that. And there's also a couple other grants that are coming from the federal government that are strictly around arts and culture. And I think that when if you tap into those grants, it will afford you to tour around the United States and do some amazing work because they are trying to push uh, uh, arts around the country,
Hmm.
but they're also very interested in what we do as Christians and how we
Okay.
impact. So we'll talk further, but I want you now to give us your final statements for this song, introduce the song. I know everybody's like, let us hear the song. We want to hear the song. And
It's
then we're
coming,
gonna we're
y'all. It's
gonna play the
coming,
song.
y'all. Patience.
So I'm introducing songs. What you said? I'm sorry.
Yes, yes.
All right, so guys, this is the world premiere. This is the first time it is being played publicly.
What?
It's in the room. Yes, this is my first interview today. This is my first radio interview today, so I appreciate it. You guys, it had to be y'all. Had to be y'all first. So
Wow.
anyway, everybody, listen. This is the world premiere of "It's in the Room" by Anthony Ponder and Ministries Desire featuring Marsha Sapp.
Right here on God Radio 1.
.com.